It is the biggest block party of the summer, and it comes to our backyard, New Jersey, here at MetLife Stadium. What is going on, guys? It is Jeff Martin alongside my tag team partner, the Trendsetter, and we are ready for your SummerSlam preview. SummerSlam comes in way early, as I'm still not ready to let go of the summer, but what are you going to do? You can follow us on all our social media at iSpot Podcast and follow us here on the Give Us a Shot Network, and make sure you follow HSP, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of our show. And if you can't watch us, listen to us on all podcast platforms. That's right. You can also listen to HSP on all podcast platforms. Trendsetter, can you believe it? SummerSlam is upon us. And it is, of course, like I said, a Jersey theme this year is in MetLife Stadium. And the highlight is New Jersey. Trendsetter, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, man. I'm still trying to enjoy my summer. I'm trying to start it. Now we're in August, basically. And I asked you before we started this, does it feel like SummerSlam weekend? And we'll discuss as we're breaking down the card, man. But still, it's getting closer. These matches have been set. We kind of had an idea where they were going. Now the anticipation is over. We're going to break this down. But I'm kind of excited, though. It's tradition for it to be themed in specifically Jersey only. Because before it used to be New York, New Jersey, and a lot of emphasis would be on New York. For it to be more isolated in New Jersey, kind of nice to see.
And of course, they were in Jersey. Of course, they're all in Jersey all weekend, and they're doing a lot of charity stuff. And you saw, during the weekend that they're there. They're doing Boys and Girls Club. They're doing signings here and there locally as well too. So definitely, you feel that that Jersey vibe with WWE this week. They're making the rounds too, doing media as well. So it is actually good to see here in Jersey getting the event, the first 2-night event, the first 2-night SummerSlam. And listen, you were talking about, does it feel like SummerSlam? The matches are good. The matches, I think that this is actually a little bit a better card than WrestleMania if you talk about it. The hype is there. I mean, you're getting Roman Reigns, you're getting CM Punk in the world title picture. So you're going to get that. But as far as the hype up, man, we're talking about this, like you said, I don't know if I've really been hyped up in a long time for an event that I had to be there and just be its must watch. I have to be there glued to the set or be there in person. But I guess it's just that whole WrestleMania 40 vibe that we're still on. I mean, whether it's a hangover or not, but it just is, anything compels me. Well, maybe by the time we do this preview, something will compel me. But the matches are good and the matches are solid. So let's break it down, Trendsetter. Of course, night 1 on Saturday, special start time at 6 p.m. So be in your seats, and weather should be beautiful. There should be no question about it. Actually, it's going to be really cool by the time it gets to nighttime. So that's going to be awesome for the fans there. So obviously, weather will not be an issue. But let's get to it.
On that one.
I don't see there should be no reason why. I know the last couple of days has been super hot in New York, but it should cool down here at night. All right, so we found out that CM Punk and Gunther will main event night 1. CM Punk confirmed it on ESPN MMA. And so that is the match that we're going to talk about right now, because there's so many options, so many possibilities of what's going to happen here. And now that this matchup is in the main event, it kind of makes a little bit more sense of what the speculation is going to be. Whether Seth Rollins' injury, whether Seth is actually legit hurt. Now, listen, Saturday night's main event, you saw that. A lot of news broke out that he had previously had that injury, and it was all storyline against LA Knight. And then the whole question of the severity of the knee. You saw Seth doing the Rich Eisen show. You saw Seth saying that the knee was still swollen, so they couldn't get to Birmingham and get it checked out till late. I don't even know if he's even had a procedure done on it. I haven't heard about that either, which leads to everyone's theory, one that we speculated earlier before, and now seems to have trickled down to everywhere, where they think that Seth Rollins is going to cash in. Whether CM Punk wins it, remember Seth Rollins saying that as long as there's a breath in his body, he's not going to let CM Punk ever win that championship. Could you see CM Punk win and then cash it in and rob CM Punk of that championship? Or does he knock out CM Punk and beat Gunther? That's, to me, the question there. But let's talk about this, Trendsetter. Your gut feeling on this is that, do we see Seth Rollins cash this in at SummerSlam, or will we be disappointed? Have we booked this for all of us to believe that's what's going to happen, or are we going to be disappointed when it doesn't?
Listen, man, it's all the work. And what I mean by all work, what I mean is not that Seth Rollins' injury. I'm not saying whether it's legit or not. I'm just saying that we've worked ourselves up to the possibility of what could happen. We thought Saturday night's main event would have opened a great opportunity until the whole injury happened. And then we thought the conclusion of Goldberg Gunther was going to lead to something similar to Seth cashing in, right? You would have a Seth CM Punk at SummerSlam. Now, if this is legit or it's not, it's hard for me to say. You know why? Because I would have personally liked to see a Seth CM Punk match for the title at Mania with Seth Rollins as the world champion. So is this them protecting Gunther? I don't know. My gut is telling me, honestly, as much as I want it to happen, I don't think it's going to happen. I do somewhat believe, and hey, if they fool me, God bless them, man. I believe there is legit injury there that it's not going to happen, and it might lead to something more. I think Seth Rollins' faction will interfere through the orders of Seth Rollins to making that happen. For me, if I was booking this stuff, I would like to see CM Punk as much as, and people are not going to believe it when I say this, right? How could you want CM Punk to win? But it would be a good moment for CM Punk to win because then it would allow the opportunity that when Seth does return or whatever moment, he would steal the title away from CM Punk. So I don't think it's going to happen. What I have, looking forward to this match. It has every right to be the main event right now in terms of the short. It seems like they were rushed in terms of building this up because you only had like 2 weeks of promos to kind of do one on SmackDown and one on Raw, the go home show. I'm sure they'll probably say something on SmackDown as well, but the this buildup seems to be kind of done pretty quickly, but still doesn't take away the fact that I'm looking forward to this one. This is the right to be the main event of SummerSlam Night 1. And I have a feeling that as much as I think business-wise, Gunther winning makes sense storyline-wise, I'll throw the wild card in there. I think CM Punk walks out as the World Heavyweight Champion.
Uh, I could definitely see that, and then that means that would basically, to me, just verify that Seth really is going through an injury because for Seth not to be able to go out there and stop CM Punk from winning would definitely show me that, hey, that this is a kind of a legit injury. Do I see Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker stepping in on the behalf of CM Punk? Well, I'm not sure to what extent when they have their own tag team match, which I think will open the show. We'll get to that one a little bit as well, but they're going to be busy that night as well. So depending on how that ends, will they be prominent in the Punk Gunther match? But you talk about CM Punk having finally main eventing WrestleMania and to be the best in the world. And the promo back and forth with Gunther has been really good. It's been solid. To end it on the note where it's SummerSlam Night 1 main event, CM Punk winning it, that is, I don't know if they could pass that up. And the only thing that would have me worried about it is Gunther winning and beating Jay and having this title run be as insignificant as maybe the first one was, just because why put this on Gunther if you're going to take it away from him, right? Obviously, the idea of having it off of Jay for this. Now, again, injuries could have derailed that, and this is where we're at now. I like your idea. I can definitely see that the fans go home happy on night 1 of SummerSlam, and I'm convinced that that is going to happen. I think that CM Punk will take on Gunther, and he will become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And then I think down the road, I think Seth will cash in on Punk, and I think that will lead to a further feud, perhaps maybe WrestleMania, like you were saying. But I do, for some reason, as we talk about now, I don't know if we're sitting at MetLife and we're looking on it, whether I'll have the same feeling. But when we're recording this right now, trying to set it, I'm going to say I like your idea. I think CM Punk is going to walk away the World Heavyweight Champion because to me, it's how are they going to leave that night at MetLife? That is a pretty damn good scenario, having CM Punk becoming the World Champion.
Listen, it has nothing to do, and I take nothing away from Gunther. I think he's been a great champion. Even the fact that he lost to Jay, it put Jay over at WrestleMania. I guess it didn't work out with Jay so much to what they were expecting. I don't know what the inner workings are of that to put the title back on him, but I thought he's been carrying it really well. And this isn't a detriment to him in terms of what he can do, but from a business standpoint, we've talked about it time and time again, Jeff, right? Wins and losses mean nothing, but there is perception there too. If CM Punk continually loses and loses and loses and doesn't have opportunities for this, I feel him winning it like you said, makes the crowd happy in night one. But secondly, too, leaves the door open to so many other more possibilities of people working with CM Punk and ultimately combining the storyline that he has with Seth Rollins when he does return from injury. If he is injured, we'll see.
We'll probably get more into this and we'll probably bring this back up as we head into the other match that we're going to talk about, but that's going to be a little bit down the road as we continue here night one real quick. We got the women's championship on the line as well. Tiffany Stratton will defend against Jade Cargill. Again, another one I believe that hasn't had its proper time to have that hype because when you look at this matchup, it's kind of like a dream matchup because they're both kind of powerhouses here. Jade coming off the injury, winning the Queen of the Ring. Tiffany now 100 plus days as the women's as the WWE Women's Champion. She's had a significant run. A lot of people could say it hasn't been that good because they just I don't know whether something hasn't hit right with them. But if you look at the list of who she's beaten, it's kind of impressive. So, do you pull the trigger to Jade because again, her coming back, trendsetter, it's been like you're waiting for it, you're waiting for that breakthrough, you're waiting for that match that where you're like, oh, she's got it, and you're still wondering whether the match is good. Then the promo comes on, and you're like, oh, do they have they seen enough progress in Jade to put the title on her and take it from Tiffany, who, I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I just think that the interaction. I just feel like this match is. The interaction between them has been few and far between. That I just don't see the rivalry here, and I think it's just it just looks like a match has been put together. I mean, it hasn't really been like, wow, I got to see this one, and then it hasn't really made me think about who's going to win or who's not. This is kind of like a toss up here. I'm like, I don't know, but do they? To me, is they? I think they pull the trigger on Jade, and then see what happens there. But eventually, Trendsetter, they're going to have to pull the trigger on Jade and see what happens. Do they feel confident in her to do so at SummerSlam? That's the question. And I'm going to say that just because, if not now, when, that Jade Cargill is going to walk away as a champion.
Well, to answer your first question, if not now, then when? I still think there's plenty of time for that. It's hard for me to answer the question. Does WWE did they consider her in that position? Well, listen, if you had her win the Queen of the Ring, then you obviously think highly of her to put her in this spot, right? But I see this whole match kind of similar to you, where it feels like it's kind of put together. I mean, you just look at this on paper, and it's been like you're impressed by it. You're like, wow, that this should be interesting. I kind of want to watch this just to see because these two women are, powerhouses in a way. I just feel both women are in positions in terms of storyline wise, in terms of characters, where I just don't think it's natural for them right now. Not to say it can't be. I love Tiffany Stratton as a heel. I like Jade as a heel and what she did in AEW. It's very hard for individuals like that have heel tendencies for me to root for them. I mean, I'll root for them regardless because I just, 100 days of loving Tiffany Stratton. I'll take that any day, Jeff. But with
Yeah, right.
Jade as well, listen, she's amazing. She has that look about her. But again, how many times have we talked about, especially in the IWC community, looks is only one thing. You have to be able to connect with the audience. You got to do promos. You got to be able to do 5-star matches in the ring, which I used to be a huge advocate of that. Now I'm like, having 5-star matches in the ring means absolutely nothing. If you can have somebody feel something, that's all that matters. Just look at our NXT Women's Champion. Again, a story for another time. Not the best in the ring, but you want to pay to see her lose. In a scenario like this, I just think both women are out of character in this sense.
I
I'm going to pit that Tiffany's going to win, but I would love for one of these to turn, whether Jade turn or Tiffany turn. I would probably prefer Tiffany because right now she's the face of your women's division on SmackDown. And I think there's still more time, not now more time, but there's still the ability before we hit WrestleMania season, going into the Royal Rumble, going into Survivor Series, even at WrestleMania where it could possibly happen. I just feel the storyline with Naomi didn't work out the way they wanted to because Naomi came out on the better side of it. And so I think both of these women, character-wise, are in limbo. And I have Tiffany winning this one because I think right now WWE is really pushing hard. Her as a babyface, her as this happy-go-lucky blonde bombshell, and I think that's the direction they're going to go in.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I just can Jade keep up with Tiffany? Does these styles are they going to clash when they go in the middle of the ring? Can Jade keep up? Because Tiffany's definitely the better wrestler.
Do you think there's pressure more on Jade or Tiffany? Tiffany to make this match look good, or
To
Jade to live
me,
up to the hype?
it's this is all pressure on Jade
Okay.
because if she loses, it's gonna be the continuation. You said there's plenty of time. I don't really agree with that because if not now, she's talking about all the naysayers and she tries to block it away. She's talking about how like she can't listen to that and it can be very hurtful and spiteful. I'm talking about Jade when the people that critique her wrestling and her promos and stuff like that, and they say that AEW protected her because again, there's nothing wrong with it because she is this powerhouse. She was bigger than the other women, so her matches were really quick. Can she keep up with Tiffany? Can she make the match look good? Can Tiffany lead this one? And also, too, is you leave yourself open with that. Hey, she didn't win it. Okay, is there to be concerned about Jade going forward? What is her ceiling? What can they do? Everything's there. She looks like a superhero. She has everything, but do they feel confident enough that she can take that title and elevate it and have continuous good matches and storylines? That's a tough one, man, and it's just only going to continue. The more pressure going to be on Jade, the longer that they wait here, because I just think there's going to be open up to more questioning whether Jade can ever do it. And I guess they're better off doing it now. So I'm going to say that Jade Cargill beats Tiffany Stratton. Where they go from there, I really don't know. Who would be
The
next?
only thing I would say in this match, Jeff, when we go watch it and see, is that if there's any advice I would give, not that I'm in any place to give advice, but less would be more. If they plan on trying to do a lot of stuff in this match, it's going to expose it really badly. So hopefully we see less in this match because that won't be a bad thing. That would protect Jay to a certain degree.
Next up, we got Randy Orton and Jelly Roll against Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. You ain't nothing but a lie. Listen, I love Jelly Roll's enthusiasm. Thank God Drew McIntyre was able to get back into the U.S. Thankful for Logan Paul and then his private jet. But that was really scary, though, because we didn't think early on in the week it was going to happen. But now Drew has updated us saying he's safe in the States and he's looking to beat up on Jelly Roll. I give credit to Jelly Roll because unlike the whole Travis Scott situation,
Yeah.
it looks like Jelly Roll is a fan. He wants to be there. He's tremendous props to him for losing the weight. He told Stephanie McMahon that by the time he rolled, no pun intended, into SummerSlam, he'd be underneath 300 pounds. So good for him, man. Anyone taking their health seriously and looking to just be better physically, mentally, I give him mad props. I give him credit too for his fandom. He's in the PC. You can see him in NXT, watching intently those matches, cheering it on. He's a true fan. Again, unlike Travis Scott, who basically, it was just a little thing for him, and now he's nowhere near the picture, which obviously to WWE's detriment, it kind of, left them open for a lot of criticism. But Jelly Roll, to me, the only question is, can he keep up? Because I saw him on SmackDown. Hey, he delivered one heck of a promo. I'll give him credit for that. He delivered a promo because it came from here. But can he keep up? How long can this match go? Are we going to see Randy Orton take most of the brunt and then see Jelly Roll for a little bit? I think that's what's going to happen, right? But one thing you can't teach with Jelly Roll is speed. To me, he labors in there when he was doing those moves. So I don't know how long this match will be. Obviously, to me, when you have a celebrity in this kind of match, you really think Randy Orton and Jelly Roll are going to get over. Although we could see more of Jelly Roll, but I don't want to see Randy Orton in this kind of setup. I get it for PLE. This is entertaining. It's summer. You got to have something like that. But again, I just want Randy and Drew, to be honest with you, in different spots. So I will tolerate this match. I love Jelly Roll's enthusiasm. He has dropped the weight. He does have the promo skills, but he's a little bit slow in the ring, so I don't know how long this match will go. But you know how celebrities go in this. I think they get I guess they get the victory here. So I'm going to go with Randy and Jelly Roll.
Listen, man, I think you and I. Well, first of all, let me say this: this is an attraction match. It's serving its purpose. I agree with you when it says that I would love to see Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre both in different situations other than this. But I am thankful that they are on this card because it would be it'd be a sin, I think, if you didn't have Randy Orton or Drew McIntyre, whether it was a singles match against them, which I'm sure we've seen a million times, but still to have them on the card, I think is due justice because wouldn't be the same if they weren't on the card. As for Jelly Roll, though, listen, we've had the scenario where we talked about pressure, right? The previous one we talked about with Jade, like all the pressure's on her. I don't think there's that much pressure per se in terms of Jelly Roll, and kudos and so much respect goes out to him because he is taking this very seriously. You can see it, not just in the great promo he delivered on SmackDown, but the weight and just the commitment that other people around him are talking of how committed he is to do this. This isn't a side thing for him, which a lot of people, that's why they critique Travis Scott, that this is just a side thing he wants to do for fun. No, he is fully committed in it, and he'll do his best at SummerSlam. But we've been really fortunate enough, Jeff, and to a certain degree spoiled when you had the likes of Bad Bunny, who I never thought would ever do anything significant than what he did the times he was in the ring, then to a Logan Paul, and then to others, and to the scenario here with Jelly Roll. That's the bar he has to live up to. Not that he's going to do those kind of sick moves, but as long as he can keep it
Oh
basic and
no.
simple. No, and if he does, it's going to be an oh my god moment. If he
Yeah.
can pull something off, like let's say a Canadian Destroyer or something like that, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but all he needs to do basically is do the simplistic things. I agree with you. I think Randy's going to take a majority of the match. It's going to be between basically kind of a handicap match in a way, and Jelly Roll will get time in there. But I'm not going to put the pressure on Jelly Roll, although I'm sure he's putting the pressure on himself to what he has to live up to, because now the bar is set high. If you're a celebrity coming in here, whether you're a musician, a rapper, a movie star, a sports athlete, you have to deliver in some way, not all the exact same way, but in some way you have to deliver and take this seriously. As long as he does that, I think he'll be fine. I think if you're going to put a traction like this, I could see Logan and Drew winning it in terms of cheating, and that's the way he protects Randy because Jelly Roll is he's a celebrity, but I think right now I really feel this whole 2-night event at SummerSlam is really about making the fans happy to a certain degree, and I think with that we're gonna get Randy Orton and Jelly Roll coming out victorious in this one.
All right, so there you go with that one. The women's tag team championships are on the line. Raquel Rodriguez and someone who's growing on me is Roxanne. They're gelling. And another team that I really like too is Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. Let's go. Let me talk about Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair real quick. Charlotte Flair, I'm glad she's back on the upswing. It was great to see them cheer for her at Evolution. It even caught her a little bit by surprise. This whole transformation you owe to Alexa Bliss just because of her personality. She just seems like a seasoned pro, just deals with everything, knows how to get the fans to like Charlotte, and actually has brought the best out of Charlotte. It just seems organic, her reactions. She just seems comfortable, even when she's in the ring. As long as she has that person next to her, she seems like she's a different person. And kudos to Alexa Bliss. Kudos to this pairing. I really would have loved to seen them. I love to see them as a tag team. I didn't want to see them split up right away and then have a fight uh, right away. I think that the longer you keep Charlotte with Alexa Bliss, the more comfortable Charlotte's going to be. And in a few months, I think Charlotte will get that confidence that the early on in the year she was lacking. Whether it was just because whether the injury or whether just some things were just a little bit, in her personal life were still nagging. But I think this has been the best thing for Charlotte. You've seen her personality come through. It's been organic. And I could definitely see here where they walk away with the tag team titles because you like the interaction between Alexa and Charlotte. You want to see more of it. And them as tag team champions, them being on Raw and going to SmackDown as well and going anywhere, you want to see them. You want to see the Queen on Raw. You want to see her on SmackDown. You just want to see more. And I think you get more matches between the Judgment Day, Roxanne, and Raquel here. This doesn't have to be the finish. This should be the beginning of more. But I really think here, too, it just pays off to see Alexa and Charlotte win. I think they'll get the victory, and I think you'll have new women's tag team champions just because of the logic, because you want to see Charlotte and Alexa Bliss interact. It's fun. It's always interesting, and I think this is the beginning of the rebuild for Charlotte Flair. And kudos again to Alexa Bliss because she has done something that we didn't think toward WrestleMania. We didn't think Charlotte Flair could be salvaged, and look at this. Alexa Bliss has done that, so kudos to her.
Yeah, listen, I'll agree with a little bit of what you said there. I don't agree with the outcome, and I'll tell you why. Though this isn't a great spot, and using another word to compare what Charlotte has been going through and what she has gained through this partnership with Alexa Bliss. What you're seeing right now in terms of the reaction, how the crowd is embracing her now to a certain extent, huge credit goes to Alexa Bliss, of course, 100%. But I think by having that person with her, It allows Charlotte to no longer play Charlotte. She is being more of her authentic, genuine self. And that is, I think, what the crowd is looking at. And I feel from my perspective, I am part of the audience, Jeff. I'm like, thank you. That's what we want. We don't want this Charlotte Flair, I am the queen, I am better than you. Granted, you can play your greatest hits all you want, but give us some more personality. I think by being with Alexa right now works for both girls right now, because if not, both girls would be in limbo and not much to do with them right now because they're not looked at in terms of, at least in my opinion, to see them going for like a United States championship or an Intercontinental championship. I don't know. I think they would be more happy to go for a world title on either side brand. So I think it works, the pairing. And if they want to help build up a little bit the tag team division, which has been non-existent for the women, this is another great opportunity. They gel really well. They've got this unique chemistry about them. And so you see some authenticity from Ashley/Charlotte Flair that we haven't seen in a really, really long time. So I'm happy for that. I don't agree with them winning this match, though. And I'll tell you why, though. Yes, you're right in the points you made in terms of it, it gives more synergy with the two. They interact more, but I think they can interact more, even especially if they're the chasers. And if you're to take the titles off Roxanne and Raquel, I think I wouldn't want to do that, because to me, it's all dependent on Liv coming back and wanting to reclaim her spot. If they lost the tag team titles and Liv comes back, well, she was a co-champion. So what's going on here? It doesn't create that dilemma within the Judgment Day that you want to create. And I think right now, when you see what's going on with Finn, Dominic, the whole group in the Playhouse, right, whatever they call it, and with that, I think that's the main thing. Waiting for Liv to come back because they want Liv to get her revenge on Roxanne for taking her spot, which is funny because that's what she did to Rhea Ripley, and now Roxanne is following suit and doing the exact same thing. So I think that's why they won't win. I think Roxanne and Raquel will retain the titles, and it leads to, again, at the end of summer, going into the fall, of them chasing for the tag team titles.
And the funny thing is, too, when I look at all of this and I see how the fans have quickly turned and have started cheering for Charlotte Flair, I don't think at the end of the day, I don't think when she came back, I don't think they were. Uh, I don't think they were. I think Chicago was a litmus test because the Chicago fans they're smart fans. I don't think they were booing Charlotte because of her. I really think they just wanted them. I think, like you were saying, I just think that they wanted Charlotte to cut the BS and just be herself.
Yeah.
And I think they were pushing back on the character. And I think that they want Charlotte, just give us you, just be you, and stop with this, it's not working. Whatever you're doing, and I think they were just fed up with what they were being given. And I don't think this was anything towards Charlotte Flair, the person. I just think they just didn't want the BS. They wanted that organicness. They wanted her to be like she is now. And WWE saw that. And I'm glad that they took a step back. And I know Charlotte was, gone for a little bit after her loss to Tiffany Stratton. And they kind of were like, listen, it's not working. Let's do this. Let's pair you up with Alexa Bliss. Whoever thought about that, tremendous. And now you're seeing Charlotte Flair. So that if Charlotte Flair does go solo eventually, again, she'll have that confidence. And she's always wanted to play. She's always wanted to play we want to see more of Charlotte. Like you said, the authenticness, who she really is outside of the company, who's a sweetheart. But how could they do that? And it seems like Alexa Bliss has humanized her. And I think that's what the pushback was ever since Charlotte won the Rumble, because they're like, oh God, not the Charlotte Flair that gets handed everything, not that she comes back from an ACL tear, whatever, and comes back and wins the Rumble. I think that was the pushback, that was the blowback, and it took a right pairing for Charlotte to get that authentic Charlotte Flair that the fans were looking for, and I think that's all they wanted. So I really, at the end of the day, I think they were just trying to just snap this out of her so that she could be her authentic self. What do you think about that?
Yeah, listen, that's a great point, and I agree with it. Here's the thing too, just to add on to that, because I think everything you said just made sense. For me, it's when she came back, I myself was expecting a different version of Charlotte, because we had seen this whole character she had done from the early stages to then where she gained her true sense of figuring out who her character was at that time in terms of the queen. But then, like with anything, and some of the greats, listen, some greats who are on your Mount Rushmore, that people always like to talk about, don't have to change a lot. They always can just continually come back and be the same person, same character they are. It just works for whatever reason. But with anything, whenever you're away for a period of time, whether it's due to injury or personal, whatever the case might be, you can't come back always doing the same thing, because then in this day and age, Jeff, we get resentment for it. And there's resentment because, oh, you got to give me something different. Come on, that's not really you. And I think nowadays, as much as people want to call people smart marks, whatever, I think people are more intelligent enough to see that that's not really you. The way you're talking right now, Jeff, that's not who you are. Don't be this whole PR kind of guy. Say what you really want to say. People can see that. I think they saw that with Charlotte. Hence, in Chicago, they were booing her. To your point, I don't think they were booing Charlotte. They weren't booing Ashley. They were booing the character. Like, we've seen this before. I thought she was going to come back as more of a badass, of more of like, I'm the queen, but now I'm a queen that's going to get right in your face. I'm going to no holds barred whatsoever. More of a methodical, more of a darker version of the queen. But with this one now, the best thing they could have done right now, pairing her with Alexa Bliss, is humanize her, and she's been humanized now. The crowd's cheering her. My God, that crowd at Evolution, Jeff, was going crazy for her. You caught her a couple times going like this. What? Really? You're
Oh yeah, no
cheering
doubt,
me? Oh
no
my
doubt.
God. And that lit a fire under her, which again is going to help her not only in the ring, gain her confidence back if she's lacked that a little bit because she hasn't been in the ring that often. But I think pairing her up with that also helps in terms of the personality, because Charlotte has said this several times. She gets rattled. Listen, if you're going to be one of the best women ever on this roster, you cannot get rattled. That's part of your job. And I think pairing her with Alexa will help her gain more confidence in herself, that when the pairing does split eventually down the road, who knows when, she'll be fine. She's not going to get rattled anymore, type of thing.
Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn. Good for Karrion Kross that he's finally going to be on a PLE at a stadium here in MetLife. He's going to be part of the SummerSlam Night 1 against Sami Zayn. Supposedly, the no contract extension has been signed for Karrion or Scarlett. I don't seriously take that to, I don't know. I think that legitimately. I think that they would be putting Karrion Kross here in such a manner in a PLE if he was going to leave anytime soon. And this has been a storyline that's been building up here, and it's 1-1 as far as the matches. And I'm torn because I know I'm pulling for Karrion Kross, but I just don't know if he's going to get the victory over Sammy, because I just think they have Sammy going on this different level. I'm not sure if they want to do that to Sammy, but again, it hinders the progression of Karrion Kross. And you talk about organic, nobody's had a bigger build organically than Karrion Kross, because he's been given minimal stuff, and he's done it, whether it's his documentary, whether it's the book, whether it's the promos he does on social media. He's been given a minimal stuff. You see him on the main event, he gets the biggest pop. And I don't know if WWE is ready to, or has ever had that backing of Karrion Kross. It'll be interesting to see. I think he signed an extension. I think that that's 100% fact. But do I believe that the machine is ready to go all in on Karrion Kross? I don't think so. So I'm, as much as I'm rooting, this is the person I'm rooting for the most out of all the matches in this event, Karrion Kross. I just don't think that they're gonna. I just think that there are bigger plans for Sammy. I would love to be wrong, but I think Sami Zayn gets the victory here. I just don't think they're all in on Karrion Kross.
So listen, real quick to hit a couple points you just made. So in terms of the contract extension, I'm in agreement. I don't think you'd put him in a scenario like this if you weren't planning on continually using him, because why give him a spot like that? But in a way to kill the character permanently in WWE programming as he goes on his way, you book him here to say your farewell. This is your swan song. We have Sammy destroying this character that's been a thorn in his side for so long, to say goodbye, and he goes on his way wherever his future endeavors might lead, and Sammy continues on. It is possible. It is possible to do that, saying, listen, we need you to put Sammy over, and then after this, good luck in your future endeavors. It's a possibility. So I don't think by saying that he's on the card, you can safely say, oh, I think he signed an extension. I think he has, though. I think he has signed an extension, because as much as Triple H and Nick Khan go about talking about, you got to listen to the audience. Well, this audience is telling you what they want. They want more of Karrion Kross. from the minimal stuff that he's been given, the crowd is revolted, saying, "Listen, how are you giving this guy chicken? You know what? And he's making chicken salad out of it, and you're not giving him an opportunity, right? You're just putting him on main event, and you're not doing anything with him." So I think the fans and the audience has really indicated we want more of Karrion Kross, especially during WrestleMania weekend in Las Vegas. They so badly wanted him and booed everyone out of the building when he was eliminated on SmackDown for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I'm happy I was able to say that without stuttering because that's a long thing to say about the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But in terms of this match, I don't know, man. Listen, I could care less about Sami Zayn at this point, character-wise. I'll be honest with you. I could care less because
I
he's
get you. I
so
get you. I get you.
self-righteous, it becomes annoying.
Oh, I get it.
But
Yeah.
what I can give credit to Sammy and Karen is that they have made me, in the beginning when we thought, okay, well, Karen's gonna get buried, Sammy is just being preoccupied to moves on to something else. That last meeting they had where they're sitting face to face as Sammy was getting interviewed for like the
Good.
millionth time again when they ask him, "How you doing?" Answering the question, sitting face to face saying, "I want to smash you, but I want you to get ready for WrestleMania, SummerSlam." Feels like a WrestleMania in a sense. And Sammy's like, you know what? If I lose, I will say that you were right. I will apologize and say you were right. But if you lose, you have to do the same thing. So, in a way, from a character slash storyline standpoint, Jeff, I don't know if you've picked up on this, but I'm really intrigued because
Yeah, I don't
one
see.
way or the other, one has to publicly admit to the other that they were wrong. And I think it's such dynamic in terms of a character that they have to give in, succumb, not just to anything physical, but succumb to your own moral values. I like that aspect of what's going on here. So I think Karen's pretty
I don't
cool.
think Sammy's gonna be the one to say it though.
I think he is. I think he's the one to say because right now, if he wins this and Karen says, "I'm sorry, I was wrong. You were right," what does Carrion do here? No, Carrion needs this one to continue his character as this self-righteous heel slash whatever, and Sammy in the end has to continue on maybe in a different path now because we've seen him as a babyface. Maybe we'll see him as a heel.
Yeah, I mean, again, I want to agree with you. I just don't think the machine is. I don't think they're all. I don't think they're 100% back up to carrying Cross. That's why I definitely see carrying Cross being the one to say that to Zammy, and then it's back to square one because I just don't feel like they. I just don't feel like they appreciate this organic build by carrying Cross. I don't believe that. I think that they believes that okay, this is cute. You got over. It's great, whatever. But I don't think that they think that what he is doing is sustainable. So I think that's why I question it. I don't want to question it, but I think the company kind of believes that because why would we put on main event all the time? Why is he getting minimal TV time? That to me is just it's a head scratcher. So I'm my heart says Karrion Kross, with my mind, my head's gonna go with Sami Zayn, and then of course this is why the trendsetter. I question whether Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed will be able to help out Seth Rollins and try to keep CM Punk from winning the championship here because they're going to be busy. They're going to be taking on the Tribal Chief, the OTC one, against main event Jey Uso in that tag team match. But I think it will open because listen, if Roman ain't closing, he's opening. So I think we're going to get that one as the opener. And listen, Braun Breaker, you talk about a guy who that rocket pack is on course, man. That guy had a tremendous Raw. They just made a star, and kudos to Jay and the OTC for making that guy because he speared both of them. He was talking his trash like Roman Reigns did to Brock Lesnar in that infamous promo from SmackDown a few years back.
Sounded a lot like Scott Steiner.
Did, man, and that the little twitches that he's got, the little that's tremendous too.
He's a Steiner, all right, with that movement. Yeah.
And then Bronson Reed. And let's not take the credit away from Bronson Reed too, man. He stole the OTC shoes. So I think that was just a very well booked final segment for Raw, and I think that it gives the legitimacy that Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker can beat the OTC and Jey Uso. Man, it would be wow. My jaw would drop if Braun Breaker was gets the pin on Roman. I just don't see that. That would be very flat. And I'm trying to find a way where the heels can even this out. But again, too, man, you got Jay and Roman to set it up, to open it up, and you're gonna have them lose. I don't think so because that's gonna set the tone. That's gonna set the tone for the whole night. I'm going to say that Roman and Jey Uso win, and I think Braun Breaker will have a great showing. But I think that the OTC one got Braun Breaker over, and I think that Roman will. He's got to get a victory here. Gets a victory here. Jey Uso, I think they set the tone of the night, and they defeat Braun and Bronson Reed.
Listen, the mere fact that you talked about all these great things Braun did,
Man,
and then basically we talked about the shoes being taken away. I hope Roman Reigns has some new shoes going into this match. I
I
really,
think he can spare a few shoes.
I think he can. Those are the expensive ones, and he kissed them too, which is really weird. But anyway, yeah, I think it's going to open up the show. Crowd's going to really get into it. They're going to be happy to see the OTC. They're going to be eating all up and down MetLife Stadium. And you're right. I think honestly, I don't think this would hurt if they not the Jey and Roman. I think all signs are pointing to that. I really feel from what you said in the standpoint here. Listen, Roman hasn't had a victory in a while, so I think this is the right time for him to have it. I'm not happy that we're having him in a tag match rather than a singles match, but that's the way it is. So I have Roman and Jey winning this one.
Night 2, Trendsetter is basically this is a very impressive championship card because a lot of titles are on the line here.
Yeah,
And which one?
finally.
Listen, we know Cena, and it's good to get the tag team titles in here. Good to get the IC title in here. Long overdue. My God, that's why sometimes I think the only reason why I like 2-night PLEs is because you get out of that 5-card thing that Triple H is dead set on. It's one of the few things I disagree with Triple H. I don't mind 5 is okay because you want to space it out, but you get too many commercials in, and you're like, man, why am I paying $200 for nosebleed when all I'm getting is like more commercials and stuff like that? 6, 7 matches to me is ideal. You're getting 6 on each one. So let's start off with what I think is going to open. I think we're going to open up with the tag team TLC match, and I think you're going to get the Wyatts, who are the champions. You got the Wyatt 6, DIY, Fraxium, the Motor City Machine Guns, Andrade, and Ray Phoenix in this one. This is going to be spectacular, Trendsetter. This, to me, has the makings of the match of not only the night, but the match of the whole SummerSlam. I think we'll be talking about this one, night 2 Sunday. I think that this one is just going to be off the charts. I'm sorry, not even, and also too, I'm sorry, not DIY, but also as well as Street Profits. So I apologize for that too. So you're getting SmackDown has done a tremendous job building up their tag team division, and this is going to be unbelievable. I cannot, you know what? I'm building myself into. I can't wait for this one. This one is going, and I'm glad for Andrade, who's getting finally a shot here in the tag team division. So to me, this is going to be exciting. Looking forward to it. Anybody but the Wyatt 6, I want winning here, and I'm going to go. Let's go here, Andrade and Ray Phoenix as the new tag team champions.
Wow, that's really pulling one out of left field there, Jeff. Listen, I'm excited about this. I do think you should start night 2 with this excitement, anticipation for TLC. It's been a while since we've seen one of these. The bar and the standard has been set for what TLC matches are supposed to be, but I also think this will set the tone of the night as well. Has the possibility of being a show stealer as well in terms of all the chaos that's probably going to happen and all the bodies and the tables are going to be broken.
And just the athleticism too. I mean,
yeah, 100% on that too. In terms of winning this, it's hard. Like my heart is kind of leaning towards you. I kind of want someone who's not supposedly someone you think is going to win this one, because when you look at Ray Phoenix and Andrade, since Ray debuted and Andrade came back a while ago, they really haven't been used. I mean, Penta has been doing more than his brother, and you would think originally they were going to be paired together, but not in this scenario because they're both on separate brands. But if I look at this card right now, it's hard for me to believe that you would take the titles off of the Wyatt 6, since they've done all this work or have tried to do all this thing to make them a top team, to make them a top faction from the whole stops and starts. I think Triple H really, really wants this to work. So I don't think we're going to see the title change hands. I think you're going to have the Wyatt 6. They're going to walk out still the tag team champions.
IC Championship is on the line. Very entertaining between Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles. Man, part of me is pulling for AJ. We saw him come back to TNA at Slammiversary a couple weeks back. And, this whole thing of AJ Styles dressing up, trying to get in Dom's head, waiting for him to get cleared. Well, he's cleared. And, here's another question too: does Dom need the IC championship? Does it fit storyline wise where right now the Judgment Day is better off having all the gold, waiting for Liv to come back, and then maybe see the fracture of the Judgment Day? But man, oh man, dude, if you talk about another person I'm pulling for here and the heartstrings are pulling, I would love to see AJ Styles have one more championship run in him here as the IC champion. Have win it, have him win it here. Then if he's gonna give it back up to Dominic eventually, Dominic Mysterio too is again he's just another level heel. Uh, this my heart's saying AJ, but realistically, very entertaining matchup, very entertaining. I like both guys, and as much as I want AJ Styles to win, unfortunately, I think Dominic Mysterio is going to win.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards as well. I really am. I think Dom's going to win. But to be different, I'm going to say that I feel AJ should really win this one. So that's what I'm sick for. I'm going to have AJ win this one. Listen, I've liked this storyline. I really have. The mere fact that Dominic has played this card of being injured and AJ wanting it to, for me personally as a fan, Jeff, I would really want AJ to be in a different position here. I don't really like the fact that he's going after the Intercontinental title. He would go after the U.S. title. Just like I want to see him in a world title.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
again, that's not my call. That's more of just a fan in me saying that. So I understand it. It would be nice to have another title run. And I think that's what we're going to get. I think, they're going to kind of change it up on us. And I think AJ is going to come out victorious in this one. I don't think I'll have the IC title for long. But again, this isn't a discredit Dominic. I think he's just great. Dominic at this early stage of his career, Jeff, too, as much as I feel the IC title would be better off with him, with this whole storyline with the Judgment Day and them having all the gold. He's not someone who needs it either. And neither does AJ. But for a nice moment and give AJ a little bit of his flowers to a certain degree, I think him surprising the audience with coming out victorious in this one because he's wanted it for so bad. And Dom has been that heelish heel where he's just like trying to avoid. He doesn't want to face AJ. For AJ to come out victorious in this one. So, as much as I say Dominic makes more business sense, I'm going to go on the opposite end and say AJ Styles walks out the brand new Intercontinental Champion.
Who knows? Maybe Finn gets involved or somehow screws Dominic, so you don't know. But I'm gonna say Dom. You say AJ on that one. The Women's Intercontinental Championship is on the line. Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. Um, Again, too, if Lyra does not win this one, she cannot challenge for the IC title as long as Becky Lynch is the champion. Um, you know, Becky Lynch and Bailey have done, and Lyra Trixie have done as much possible to add validity to the IC championship. I give them kudos for giving it all the airtime. I give Becky Lynch kudos for being emotionally invested in making the IC championship what it is. I think she's done a tremendous job. I think when you have that levels of stars putting importance to that championship, I think it does. I was going to say Lyra was going to win this, and then I saw Raw on Monday night, and man, like I'm just not sure. Like that promo kind of really I had to take a step back, and I was like, what the hell? Like I thought she was making these improvements in the ring. She definitely is good in the ring, but how quickly are the fans going to? I think right now what Becky and Bailey have tried to do, I think they've tried to, plug holes into something that's leaking. And I think that if you give that belt to Lara, I think it's gonna all the holes are gonna just just all at the same time it's gonna leak. I think you get a flood. Because I just don't think Lara's ready for this. I don't think that I just don't I don't think she is. Maybe a few months down the road, maybe, but I don't think she's ready for it. I see Becky Lynch retaining the championship. I think somehow Bailey gets involved. She looked distraught. She had no answers. So I think at the end of the day, Becky Lynch is going to walk out and still women's Intercontinental Champion.
Same way too. I think Becky retains it. I think Bailey will play a part, although she's not on the card. She will be involved in this some way, costing Lara the same way she was cost the IC title not too long ago as well. And the storyline will continue. I'm of the extent. Listen, Lara is a great work in the ring to be the inaugural champion, and what she did with it at that point is great. But I think individuals like Becky and Bailey can take it to another level. I'm not saying it's not possible she could win it because of the way they're going, but right now, from storyline somebody, it just makes more sense to keep it on Becky. I think she's doing more at that title and bringing more prestige to it than what Laura could do in terms of wrestling every single night and defending every single night. Just doesn't work in this day and age. So I think eventually she'll get it. but something has to happen with her character enough where she needs to be able to connect more, because her promos, I haven't been fans of them too much. As much as Michael Cole wants to give us the rah rah, oh my God, look at her. I don't think that. I don't
Yeah,
believe
that
it.
was bad on
Becky
Monday night.
walks out as the champion.
That was bad. That was just brutally bad for Lyra on Monday night. That was just kudos for trying to save it, but that was brutally bad. All right, Trendsetter. The U.S. Championship in a steel cage is on the line. Sol Sokoa, the champion, against Jacob Fatu. Oh man. Again.
Tell us how you really feel, Jeff.
No, there's Sol Sokoa. Uh, there's no way he's walking out here as a champion. I don't
Really?
see
Okay.
it. I see Jacob winning here. It's steel cage. And listen, I just don't think there's a reason why to outsmart Jacob here, or why you shouldn't put the belt back on Jacob here. No one can get in. Unless there's another Samoan in the family that I don't know is going to lurk from somewhere. Maybe Zilla will come in, but I don't see that. So I think that Jacob Fatu beats Solo Sikoa here and becomes a new United States champion. I predicted a lot of title changes in this one, right? There's a
Yeah,
lot
you
of
have.
them.
Yeah, definitely. I guess that's
But
your mood for this event.
I guess that's what I want to do. I want new champions. No, I just think that Jacob Fatu, there's no reason to just prevent him from doing this and give him a good U.S. championship run here. And so that's why I have Jacob winning.
Completely disagree with you. I have Jacob Fatu losing, Solo winning. I'm so intrigued in this match, Jeff, because I feel it's more important for Solo. Jacob is already established. He was established the moment he walked in the doors of WWE. He's legit. He doesn't need a title. You want a long, lengthy title run. I want a long, lengthy title run for Solo, of being chased, of this faction, this new faction, whatever the direction they plan on going in, to be that next level, if not a better version. I know I'm speaking a lot in terms of hoping, but a better version of what the bloodline could be, because you need that scenario. So I think this is more important for Solo to retain it. Not that the title's going to make Solo, but him having it and being that guy that you just hate and want him to lose does better for him long term wise. Because if you take the title off him, then what's the point of this whole faction? Them chasing Jacob again. So Jacob doesn't need the title in this scenario. It's more important for Solo to keep it. So I have Solo retaining.
Women's World Championship match. Now listen, this matchup at Evolution between Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, match of the year for the women's side, in my opinion. And now you're getting Naomi, who cashed in at Evolution, and she's now the women's world champion. You're getting this triple threat match. Again, you can make the case that this should have main evented night two, or if you put it on night one, should have done that. They've deserved it, but you can't put Cena and Cody in the back burner,
Or Punk or Gunther.
or Punk and Gunther. So again, um, it could open SummerSlam, but I don't think it will. You can make the case for that as well. You can definitely make the case for it main eventing, but Naomi pulled the wool over everyone's eyes after losing to Jade, and a surprising cash in for Money in the Bank. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley are all world. Naomi is getting hers, and I just don't see why there's a reason to end it so fast. Yes, the build has been for Rhea to win that championship. She has pursued it and has slipped through her fingers. It slipped through her fingers at Evolution. She thought she had
Oh, I'm
it.
so sorry for Rhea Ripley.
But there's no reason to take that championship off of Naomi. So I think that Naomi wins that matchup, and I think she walks away and still women's world champion.
Hey, we're finally agreeing again on something. It only took about a couple matches for it to happen. Yeah,
Well,
listen,
I love
I love
Evolution.
Rhea Ripley. I love Io Sky. Io Sky can continually wear those shorts all she wants. But here's the thing: I
No,
don't think you
huh?
need the title. For you to take the title off of Naomi at this point right now, where she has gained so much momentum, and the crowd's so behind, even though she's a heel, they so love this version of Naomi. I think it would just be non-justice. It would make sense from a storyline standpoint, from a booking standpoint, to do that. So I have one of these matches that has another potential stealing the show, because WrestleMania not too long ago, we had a triple threat match for the title, and Bianca Belair was filling the spot for Naomi. And that was probably one of the matches of the year for WrestleMania. I think this has that potential as well to steal the show. I think all three women are going to do a great job here. But again, it's like I said before, I don't think Io needs the title as much as Rhea is continually chasing it and falling short. I don't think it hurts her character standpoint, nor she doesn't need the title. I feel at this point right now, Naomi has earned it. That run deserves to go a little bit further than just a couple of weeks or a month at least. So I have Naomi retaining the women's title.
The WWE Undisputed Championship is on the line. John Cena, the last time you will see him at a SummerSlam.
Thank God.
Uh, yeah, right. Come on, you know you're gonna miss John Cena. Against Cody Rhodes, and we talked about the whole heel turn. We talked about what is the proper way, if it's been good or not. Has it lived up to expectations? WrestleMania was kind of a downer, even though he won his 17th. What was up with Cody Rhodes, the whole Travis Scott situation, and the buildup. I know John Cena's tried. I know they feel like they've accomplished everything. If you saw WWE Unreal, very proud of what happened at Elimination Chamber when Cena turned heel. I just don't think following through it's been anything to write home about. As much as they tried, as much as as much as they've tried to do it, it's just tough when you send off a guy who is a Mount Rushmore kind of guy, who is a legitimate, face of the company. He's like the Babe Ruth, right? They said it's kind of tough when he's leaving for him to be a heel, and that's why it just hasn't worked out. And I thought that my best case scenario was that he leave on his last day against Cody and lose to Cody in December. But I think that's not going to happen. I think that that championship change is going to happen at SummerSlam. I don't ask me how they're going to get to it because I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna get seen to turn face soon, but he will. And I think that the process of him rehabilitating or mending the relationship with the fans starts at SummerSlam. And I think that maybe Cody beats Cena and Cena finally gets the respect and shakes Cody's hand, maybe, and that's what starts it. But I just see Cody Rhodes walking away as a new undisputed champion, and somehow, some way, the eventual face turn happens for John because I think on his way out, the fans really want to show their appreciation. And this, as fast as his heel turn can go back, the better, because to me, it's just been a whole lot of nothing, right?
Listen, it was a great shocking moment when it happened. We didn't believe, wow, that they would do this at this point. You had, may he rest in peace, thoughts of Hulk Hogan Bash at the Beach and what this potentially could have been if John were to, let's say, sign another year or continue another year or two. It would have meant more. But it being short term, knowing there was an end in date, that it kind of lost its momentum, in my opinion, pretty quickly. This scenario, I feel similar to what you said, would probably be the best option would have been his final match for him to lose the title, because he would run the threat of walking away as he did in his promo saying the last world champion, and you would have the paper champion filling in, blah, blah, blah. For Cody to win this one would be a redemption from WrestleMania. Street fight, and the purpose that's going to be a fight. It's not going to be a wrestling match. So kind of makes it more of an even playing field to a certain degree. We didn't know if they're going to be run-ins or interference in this one. But long story short, on the aspect of this, I have Cody winning this, defeating John Cena. And you said too, how does he make amends for? I think there's no need to make amends, although he had some pretty strong things to say about the fans, which a good majority of it was true. I think the fans just can't boo this guy right now. They just
Yeah.
have appreciation, respect for him and everything he's done for the industry. So maybe we get that handshake at the end. But I do know this, regardless of what happens, I think it's going to be a while since we see John Cena for a little bit. He'll be away for a little bit, and then if that's a scenario where I feel he will lose the title to Cody Rhodes will continue as champion. And when we do see John the next time, it'll be a little bit different, and then it'll lead to the scenario where he will end his career on the side of being a babyface. So I have Cody and the end of SummerSlam Night 2 walking out the brand new WWE Undisputed Champion.
And think about that. After that, there will probably be about maybe like 12 or 13 more dates on the schedule for John Cena, because Friday night SmackDown and then SummerSlam. So that's about, I believe there was 15, so maybe 12 or 13 left. Just a handful more, 4 more months of John Cena. So listen,
And we can't see him after that.
And then we can't see him officially after that. Listen, you do a whole podcast about the whole heel turn. Not a fan of it. To me, I think when it just went off the hinge was at WrestleMania. But again, we can do a whole podcast on that. But again, I think Cody Rhodes. Well, I think we can really pretty much agree that Cody Rhodes winning on Sunday is the way to go. And I think that begins the process of John Cena And again, whether it's fixing a fractured relationship with the fans, or maybe like you said, maybe just time away, people forget about it, and then he comes back and he steps into somebody or something like that, and maybe that's just the easiest way to do it. Because if he's away like a month or so or a few weeks, when he comes back, the fans are gonna for missing him. It's all you need. You need just a few weeks, and the heart grows fonder. So, so yeah, man. So listen, it's gonna be in our backyard in Jersey, MetLife Stadium. Uh, 2 nights, first time for SummerSlam. So we're looking forward to it. We will definitely
Jersey
have
Wrecker being part of history once again. The first ever 2-night SummerSlam, and us, the Jersey Wrecker, are going to be a part of it in Jersey, guys.
Definitely looking forward to that. Make sure you catch our post shows. Might be late. Who knows with the traffic, because that is no fun at all. But we'll definitely do some kind of
We're
post
used to it, though.
IG Live. Make sure for all the updates you stay here on HSP podcast here on the Give a Shot Network. Make sure you like and subscribe. And again, follow the Jersey Wrecking Crew here on the Give a Shot Network. Follow us on all our social media at Highest Pop Podcast. Make sure you tune in for the post show for SummerSlam. And guys, it's been fun. SummerSlam is right around the corner. New Jersey is the host. Looking forward to it. The Jersey Wrecking Crew is bringing you this episode, and hope you enjoy it. Make sure you also follow us on all our social media at Highest Pop Podcast. Trendsetter, wrap this one up.
Well, guys, that's it. That's what you asked for, and we delivered like we always do. So, from a tag team partner, Jeff Martin, I'm the trendsetter, Brian Berger. We are the Jersey Wrecker. Can't speak. We are the Jersey Wrecking Crew, going to enjoy SummerSlam in New Jersey, first ever 2-night SummerSlam event, and we're going to be part of it with all of you guys, because we do this for one reason and one reason only. I won't stutter when I say this. We do this for you, the crew.
Enjoy SummerSlam, folks. See you at MetLife.